Hello and welcome to Four Wives on the Mic presents Wives Tale, a weekly podcast that features adapted tales from the lives of real wives. Each story is anonymous. Now, this week's tale is surprisingly not rare. So, this is probably the third time I've heard something similar happening to a woman. And it's quite surprising and quite shocking that actually it has happened and it does happen so frequently. Anyhow, let me not get into it. Let's enjoy the tale and then we can have a whole conversation about it either in the comment section below or the Instagram page. My name is Mrs Nikki Tunji. This week's tale is called Goodbye, Hello. Goodbye, hello. Midday and her head was just buzzing. Her eyes pulsating and the back of her head throbbing. She put her fingertips to her temples and attempted to rub away the tension. She closed her eyes, trying to cool them down from the intense heat they seemed to be generating. She had been sat at her desk trying to finish her presentation, which was now due. She had made some headway, but now wasn't able to even focus on the words displayed across the screen in front of her. She could hear her heart beating and felt a nauseating churning in the depths of her stomach. She looked at the time. 40 minutes had gone past, and she had done little to nothing. She had to go home. Something just didn't feel right. Maybe she was tired or stressed out. Maybe she returned from mat leave too soon. Should she have stayed home a little longer? Should she reconsider going part-time? If she did, how would they pay for their upcoming wedding? The traditional had been so over the top and expensive, and with the unexpected arrival of their beautiful baby, she really had no choice but to return to work. She packed up her things, made her excuses, and left the building. Calling him on her way, she wasn't surprised when he didn't pick up the call. He rarely answered his phone on the days he had interviews lined up, and on this day, he had 2 job interviews lined up. She was really excited for him. She was excited for them. This meant that their white wedding would be even closer. She dreamt of real flowers lining the walkway as her French lace floated behind her. She imagined him with a tear in his eye as he looked at her for the first time, soon to be his wife. She imagined a tiara, or maybe a veil. Well, why not both? She stopped daydreaming, not wanting to get too excited. Of course, he had to get the job first, and then they could start planning properly. But she couldn't help it. She imagined a wedding abroad, some French vineyard, or some coast overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, or maybe some intimate barnyard experience. Oh my gosh, Nigerians in the barnyard. She had almost forgotten the odd feeling in the pit of her tummy, but quickly remembered as soon as the sun triggered that intense migraine, the burning sensation bringing her out of her dream state, back to reality. For a quick second, she thought of her baby. Thankful for him because he could always take over. Although, after last night's argument, well, not quite an argument, let's say a disagreement, she's not really sure if he knew what being hands-on meant. Well, he would find out. She wondered how single mums did it. How did they handle sick days or off days or going to work and dating? How could they juggle it all and still be supermum? She tried him again. No answer. It didn't matter, she was almost home now. As she entered their apartment building, she prepared herself to strip, unwind, black out. She thought of where she had placed her eye mask, the paracetamol, checked the time, set an alarm, to make sure baby was picked up on time. As she approached her door, she noticed it was slightly ajar, propped open by a small travel case. Thinking nothing of it, she continued into the apartment. At the entrance, she noticed 2 larger suitcases, a backpack, a suit wrapped up on its hanger as though ready for a big occasion which had finally arrived. She looked back towards the doorway and noticed his shoes all gone from the rack. Cautiously, she continued into the apartment. Her nausea and migraine had been replaced by something a lot worse. She felt a deep sense of dread, as though the biggest part of her had just dropped from within her, lost, gone. She called to him, fear lacing her voice. Femi. Femi. He appeared from the bedroom. Avoiding her gaze, he had in his hand his toothbrush and the scarf she had claimed following their visit to Winter Wonderland 2 years ago. In a daze, she walked around the flat. The TV in the living room was gone. The oud candle in the guest toilet was gone. The gorgeous terrarium he had bought in his lad's holiday, gone. Everything of his was gone. Everything. It was as if he had never moved in. He had never existed in this space. Femi. He stood in the hallway, staring back at her. She noticed behind him the front door was now shut. The suitcases were still lining the hallway. So, ever experienced something like this? Ever know anyone who has experienced something like this? Unfortunately, I've met a couple of people recently who have been in that position. You think you're getting married, you think you've met the one, and just like that, he's gone. Literally, just like that, he's gone. Not even a conversation. I mean, in terms of our character, she gets to have a conversation, but that's not always something that you get. You don't always get that conversation, that goodbye or that I'm sorry it's not working. Sometimes it literally is gone. Well, on that note, thank you so much for clicking on and watching. I do appreciate every single person who takes the time out to watch one of these videos or listens to one of the episodes. I appreciate you all. Again, thank you so much to the contributor of this story. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for letting me adapt your story for this platform. If you would like to contribute a story, please do get in touch. You can send me a message via YouTube or Instagram, or you can email me. It's 4wivesandamic@gmail.com. And I'm more than happy to have a conversation to tease out the story. So next week is going to be the review. We are going to be reviewing Runaway, Soul Food, and House Party. No, that's wrong. We are going to be reviewing Soul Food, House Party, and Baby Boy. So if you haven't watched those yet, please do go back and watch those videos and then join us for the review next week, Wednesday. It will be out on Wednesday. I laugh, it's not funny. All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much for joining. Please, if you like it, like. If you love it, subscribe. And if you like and love it, make sure you share with all your friends and other people who you think will appreciate this. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. You guys have a good week, and thank you again. Bye-bye.